we did have that clip from Delta and their decision to ban pit bull service dogs. And joining us once again from Northwest Battle Buddies, Shannon Walker, expert on service dogs. And Shannon, wanted to get your thoughts on the Delta ban on the pit bulls.
Yeah, well, I have a lot of thoughts about it, but quickly, I understand, that they're trying to affect and make things safer for their passengers and everything else, but the ban on pit bull is that they've decided is in direct opposition to the American Disabilities Act. You cannot specify what breed can or cannot be a service dog or an ESA dog. And unfortunately, the abuse of the service dog system by people who are being fraudulent is where this is all coming from. And there's just no way you can enforce a ban like that. Who's to say what looks like a pit bull or who is not? And everything else. And the fact is that every dog can bite. You take a dog that doesn't have temperament, does not have professional training, you put him in a stressful situation, and any dog can bite. So even if they were trying to do a good thing, it's not going to get the result that they think it's going to, and I'm afraid it's going to open them up to some lawsuits because you just can't do that.
And Shannon, you started to, I think, address where my next question is going. You're the expert on service dogs. We know that many communities have an outright ban on pit bulls as it is, and rightful or not, a lot of people are concerned about their safety around pit bulls. In your expertise, can they be trained as service dogs as any other breed?
Absolutely. We have 3 service dogs in our program, and, at Northwest Battle Buddies, we provide service dogs to combat veterans who have PTSD, and we have pit bulls that have traveled all around the world with our veterans once they've received these dogs because of the freedom and independence that they're gaining. So it's not about the breed. It's absolutely all about the temperament of the dog and the professional training of that animal to serve the handlers and be ready for a situation that these dogs are being put into. That's why we're seeing the reactions from these animals that are not tolerable. I mean, we can't tolerate it, and those dogs do need to be kicked out. But it has to happen before the dog gets on the airplane. There has to be something in place. And honestly, if you read the laws set forth by the ADA, if those laws by themselves were reinforced, if the laws on the books were reinforced and people were educated, it would cut down on this problem in a huge way. But those laws that are in place are not even reinforced. So now they're coming up with more laws that are contradicting to federal law. And it just creates a lot of confusion, a tremendous amount of distress to those who have legitimate service dogs that are just trying to live their life. And they're coming up with roadblock after roadblock because of the abuse of the system from people who truly don't need these animals and people in the industry that don't know. I mean, they have a lack of knowledge, and it's a huge problem. Every day I go out with service dogs in training or with veterans, and I see fake service dogs every day who should not be in public, who immediately cause me alarm to the safety of the dogs that we have, because the fake service dogs out there are a liability to people, to the businesses, and the industry.
Shannon, as you're describing the potential legal issues Delta might have in issuing this decision, with so many of the communities that have banned pit bulls, do we know of any that have ended up losing legal challenges to the bans in those communities?
Not that I know of, and even if there's a pit bull ban in a community, people can still have a legit service dog that happens to be a pit bull breed. That ban does not include the pit bull service dog.
That's good information. So is this something that you think will, based upon your perception of the legal challenges, be settled fairly shortly, or is this something that could end up playing out over the course of years, as the legal system often will take to get around to things?
Yeah, you know what? The thing is that, I've seen, the guidelines put in place, and then they're quickly changed when they realize it's not going to work. So, honestly, I don't know. I mean, it's definitely not going to stop. It's not going to end here. It will definitely escalate if they don't change their stand on it and get more educated and come up. We got to stop them at the gate. We got to stop them. We got to be educated and stop them before they get on the plane, but not in a way of discriminating and hurting the disabled. And it's not easy to navigate. It's really, it's not an easy answer, and it's a shame that the abuse of the system is what has created all of this problem.
Very true, and the information and expertise, as always, very much appreciated, and she does wonderful work. Again, Shannon Walker with Northwest Battle Buddies. If you would like to assist that organization, as she mentioned, they provide service dogs to our vets with PTSD, and they do really, really tremendous work on the other coast, but they help vets wherever they can. Again, Northwest Battle Buddies.